Well folks, a very good morning to you. Cockney Kayak here. Welcome to Lincolnshire. Good to have your company as always. Nice early start for me this morning as per usual, and that's probably because I'm off to my arguably my favourite stretch of water, that being the Chesterfield Canal. The van's loaded. Just got to finish off my my cup of tea, and we're going to set off. It's about a 40-minute drive from my house. It's going to be a lovely morning, I think, so I can't wait to get there. So let's get set off and stay tuned, and I'll catch up with you very, very shortly. Well folks, so we have arrived. Chesterfield Canal looking as lovely as ever. So obviously this is my drop-in point. It's about, that's not too bad, it's about a metre to the water there. And it's a bit lower here. So this is the old lock, Shore Lock this is called, and if you go that way, just to drop in there, that'll take you back to Drake Holes. I've probably dropped in Drake Holes that many times. You just want something different sometimes, don't you? Really early, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be travelling that away to Misterton, and that's where I'm going to be dropping in. Well folks, a very good morning to you once again. I'm now finally on the water. Been paddling for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Absolutely beautiful morning. There's a bit of rain in the air this morning, but there's nothing kind of forecast, so oh well, we get wet, don't we? But beautiful morning. Birds are singing, seen loads of fish, sort of really small fry just leaping in and out of the in and out of the water. It's quite shallow, loads of fish. I've got my polarized glasses on, so you can pretty much see to the bottom of the canal, which is only, I'd say, about a metre. It's very, very shallow. Hopefully I can get some miles in this morning, but I'm going to just have a paddle, find somewhere to stop off, cook some breakfast, and have a paddle back. I'm a little bit too late today because we're off to York for a few beers and a curry, me and the wife, so I'm not going to be out too long this morning. I suppose one of the main reasons why I enjoy the Chesterfield Canal is it's so tranquil, peaceful, quite calming after a stressful week at work. I think a lot of rivers and canals can be like that, but for me the Chesterfield Canal in particular is just such a lovely place to be. The other thing I like about the Chesterfield Canal is there's a lot of, you know, it can be quite heavy traffic. You know, I've paddled on here and there's been a lot of boats up and down, but you know, they're like narrow boats. They cause no turbulence on the water, generally speaking, unlike the lads that have the big river cruisers. The narrow boats tend to have a bit more courtesy for us, you know, paddlers. So, you know, and I love narrow boats, and I suppose in retrospect that's how I kind of got into paddling, is from watching YouTube videos on narrow boats. And I think I've sort of said before, my wife would love to sort of sell up and just go and live on a narrow boat. You know, I can understand why she would want to do that. I can understand why people do that. It's a lovely way of life, no question about that. But yeah, generally speaking, when I have a paddle on the Chesterfield Canal, I always see the odd narrow boat. Again, sometimes they come up from behind and, you know, I can't hear them that great, and before I know it, they're up my backside. I still haven't got my little mirror, and I still haven't put my wing mirrors on my kayak. But I am getting around to doing something. You know, whenever I see a chimney or a structure such as that one, always reminds me of one of my all-time favourite heroes. Some of you will remember the legend of that's Fred Dibner, the Bolton steeplejack. And I know for Fred this would just be a tiny little structure to ladder and climb, but it still looks pretty darn high to me. I'd say that Fred Dibner, he had balls of steel, and what a great man he actually was. There's probably worse places to live. Yeah, I could just see myself sitting there, maybe doing some fishing or having a barbecue and just chilling out with a cold beer. Right, I think it's coming up to breakfast o'clock, so I'm going to start looking for places where I can potentially tie up and get out, stretch the legs. I've been paddling for, I don't know, just hour and a quarter, hour and 20 minutes, so getting peckish. Right, let's see what we got around here. Yeah, so the canal is getting really narrow here, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we don't get a big narrowboat come towards me. Otherwise I'm going to find it difficult to get out of their way. I probably can tuck myself into these reeds here, but it's very, very narrow. funny old morning actually. It's the sun seems to come out and it's really warm, and then all of a sudden there's quite a lot of clouds and the sun disappears and it starts raining. So yeah, bit of a weird morning actually. None of this rain was forecast, of course, but typically you can never underestimate it, can you? So I'm still trying to find somewhere to kind of stop off, have something to eat. The old guts are rumbling now, so could do with some breakfast. But whilst it's raining, I'm in no sort of, you know, great desire to stop off and start cooking in weather's just like this. So you know, I'm just going to keep paddling. I think I've been on the water for probably about 3 miles, something like that. So it's just flown, the time's flown by this morning. It's unbelievable. Yeah, just a quick update on these handles that I recently glued onto this Go Plus kayak. I've been out a couple of times paddling since I glued these on. Really happy with the way that they've turned out. Super solid. I've really give it some these handles some stress, and they've worked really well. I think this was the one thing that was lacking on this kayak, was these handles on the side. So I'm glad I took the time and effort to do it. And I think if you do have a Go Plus kayak, then it's definitely worth considering doing exactly the same. Getting this boat in and out of the water now is so much easier. So yeah, really chuffed to bits with those. Yeah, that sun's getting up now quite it's quite strong, and I can feel it on my back and neck. And as the sun sort of come out, so as the insects and mozzies and bits and pieces on. So I'm not really going to hang around. I'm going to try to a bit of a power paddle back to Shorebridge, because I don't fancy being eaten alive, and I don't fancy too much of that sun on my neck. Like I say, I have taken precautions. I've got sunblock on, but even so, I think the answer is to kind of get back as quick as I can, and because I think it's only going to get hotter, and I think there's only going to be more blooming insects. So let's get paddling. Morning, you alright? Well, you can see that. I think you probably can. It looks like a dead snake. Certainly, I don't think Awkward is alive. They're pretty. I've got to say, I'm not a lover of snakes, but yeah. Oh well, that's the second snake that I've seen in a year, almost a year of paddling. First one was alive, swam in front of my kayak, and a dead one. There you go, let's put him back. Right, so safely back to Shore Bridge, and I think it's time to cook some breakfast. Very simple breakfast this morning, just a bacon roll I think, and that should see me okay until I get home. So let's get cooking. Very simple, but after sort of 3 or 4 hours paddling, actually maybe a bit longer than that, really well. So once again, it's been a really nice paddle here on Chesterfield Canal. It is without doubt my favourite stretch of water. I think a lot of people that I know tend to go from Draco's and paddle through the tunnel and go maybe a mile or so, and then go back to Draco's, and then have a paddle towards sort of Worksop. And I think a lot of the Chesterfield Canal is kind of not explored by paddlers. I've paddled on there quite a lot, and I've never ever seen anyone paddling a kayak on here, just narrow boats, except for Draco's, where in and around Draco's you get a lot of people having a paddle. So, you know, I think people miss a lot of really nice countryside by just sticking in and around Draco's. If you do decide to come here, it's really comfortable. There's loads of places to drop in, very easy to get in and out of the kayak, easy parking, just a really nice place to come. And as I said before, even if you don't come for a paddle, it's just a nice place to come for lunch, or, you know, bring a picnic and sort of chill out. But generally you do see 1 or 2 boats coming through this lot. So I'm going to finish my roll and call it a day at that. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, safe and happy kayaking.